Alright, and so for the second lab to get started, we're going to go ahead and click on the link to the GitHub repo in the lab doc. And this will give us the base chat application. So we can go to clone. Go ahead and copy that. So you're going to want to open up your command line or terminal, whatever you're using. And go ahead and navigate to the directory where you want to clone this project. And then you're going to want to run git clone, and then you're going to paste in the URL to the git repo. And that is going to go ahead and clone the base hotel review project. And from there, you can open up this project in your editor of choice. Alright, once you have your project in your editor of choice, we're going to go ahead and navigate to the manifest.yml file. And this is just the deployment manifest for IBM Cloud. And so we're going to go ahead and change the name. This is going to be something unique, so there's no conflicts. And it's important not to copy what I'm doing, since this application will probably still be online. You got to make sure it's unique. So go ahead and add your initials, and then add hotel app, whatever you'd like to name your project. And then the same thing for the hosts. Make sure it's unique. And then once that's done, you can save that application, or save the file, I mean. And once that's done, go ahead and go to your terminal again, or command line. You make sure you're still in the same directory as your project. So just run ls. So cd into that project. So if you run an ls, you should be able to see the app.js file, the package.json. More importantly, you should see the manifest.yml. If you're at the same level as that file, then you're good to go. You can just run the bxcf push. And so what that's going to do is it's going to read the manifest file and then push that application up to IBM Cloud. And so that's going to take a minute, and I'll come back when that's done. Alright, once that's done starting, we can go ahead and go to our browser, open up a new tab, and then type in the host name that you created in the manifest. So if you remember, mine was app-hotel-app, or or-hotel-app, and then .mybluemix.net, and then enter, and that'll take you to your running application. So right now all this is just a chat front end, application front end. So all it is just a simple empty room. That's it. Alright. So now the next step is to get the credentials. So we're going to go back to IBM Cloud Dashboard. So then we're going to first find the credentials for the discovery service. So go back to your dashboard, scroll down to the services, and find your discovery instance. You can go ahead and click on it. And then click on service credentials on the left side. Click view credentials, and then copy down those credentials and keep it in a separate Word doc. I'm not going to show you mine, but I'll come back once I'm done copying it. Now next we need to actually go into the service to get some more credentials. So we're going to click on the Manage tab on the left side, click on Launch Tool, and so that's going to take us to our Discovery instance. We're going to go ahead and click on the Hotel Review collection. And then you're going to click on this use this collection and API link here, and that'll open up a little pop-up with the collection ID, configuration ID, and environment ID. You're going to want to head and copy all of those and keep those in a separate document. Alright, once you're done, you can close that out, go back to the dashboard, and then now we got to get conversation. So going back to the dashboard, you're going to want to find your conversation service. I'm going to go down and click on it. And then click on service credentials. and then view credentials. I'm not going to show you my credentials, but what you're going to do is you're going to click on view credentials and then copy everything in there and then save that to another file. Alright, now the next thing we need to do is get some more credentials from the conversation service. So we're going to go into the launch tool button. So you're going to click the menu button up here, you're going to click view details, and then you're going to copy the workspace ID. I'm not going to show you mine, but go ahead and just copy the workspace and save it for later. Once you get that, you can go ahead and close out that window, go back to your dashboard, and we're actually done with credentials now. So we're going to go back to our code editor, open up the application, or the application files rather, and then on the left side you're going to find the service-credential.example.json file. Go ahead and right click on that and duplicate, and just remove the example. So it's just service-credentials.json. Click enter. And then now you're going to fill in the details of the credentials that we just pulled out. So go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here, and I'll come back once I'm done. Alright, once you're done with the service credentials, make sure you save the file. And then now we're going to look for the app.js file on the left side. So go ahead and click on that. And so this is the main file where all the application logic will reside. So the first step is going to be to import the Watson Sdk. So we're going to do a new constant. So we're going to call it Watson equals require. Actually, you can just copy this. You can copy this from the lab doc. And there you go. And so then we have to actually tell this file about the service credential file. So we're going to go ahead and paste that in. And so now we're going to look for the comment to create the conversation object. So we're going to go ahead and copy that block of code from the document, paste that in here, and there's our conversation object that we can invoke. Alright, next we have to do discovery. So basically it's going to be the same thing. We're creating a instance of this discovery object that we can call to query the collection. And then now we need to find this section, this send text to conversation comment. We're going to go ahead and go back to the lab doc and copy the code there. And then just paste that in right under that comment. And so what that's going to do is that's going to call conversation. Alright, now after that, there's another code, a few lines we need to paste. So look for the var apply line here. We're going to go ahead and enter just a few lines under that and paste in this new code. And so just under that, we're going to paste in some more code. So that goes there under the, make sure it's under the var city line. Alright, now find the else code block. Now the next step is to paste in this emit message into the else block. So we're going to put that there. And then so far we should just have this. Now next we need to define the function definitions, so copy the code block from the document with the function definitions, go to the very bottom of the document, and or the very bottom of the app.js file I should say, and paste in the function definition. And then there's one more definition to paste in, so just under that at the very bottom of the app.js file, go ahead and paste in the second function definition. Alright, so now we need to go back up to our conditionals. And so now we need to find the context.best. So this is the if context.best section. So we're going to go ahead and copy this next code block right under there. And so now we need to fill in each one of these switch case statements. So for the all statement, we're going to go ahead and copy the code block for this section. And we're going to go ahead and paste that in. And then next is New York. So we're going to go ahead and copy that. Paste that in. And then San Francisco is last. Can go ahead and copy that and paste it in. And lastly is Chicago. Gonna copy that from the lab documents, and then paste that in. Alright, so our switch case statement is filled out. And so now we need to move on to the next conditional in our if-else statement. And so this is going to be the context.list condition. So we have a big code block in the lab doc that will cover this condition if we need to retrieve a list of hotels. So we're going to go ahead and paste that in. Alright. And then now we have just our last conditional. And so that's going to be under the else if context.hotel condition. So we have a big code block to copy. Copy that. And within this else if statement, we're going to paste that in. Formatting might be a little off, but you can just fix that. And there we go. All right. Next, we need to Alright, and lastly we need to clear the context. So what this is going to do is this is going to reset the state of the conversation. So once the conversation is over, we can start back from the beginning on the next question. So look for the else statement at the very bottom. If you remember, this is like one of the first things that we added. So it's going to be the last conditional. It's just going to be else. Just under that, go ahead and paste in the last code block to clear the context. Alright, and with that, that should be the last code change that we need to implement. Go ahead and save the file. And then go back to your terminal and push this new application. So that's going to take a minute, but I'll come back when it's done. Alright, once it's done deploying, you can go back to your browser. Now we can test out our application with some of the questions in the lab doc. So let's just go ahead and test them out. And as you can see, you're getting the responses from conversation. And let's go ahead and try one for that pulls in discovery. And as you can see, it returns to us the total number of reviews for the 414 hotel and the number of positive and negative reviews. And that's the end of the lab. See you next time.